Hey YouTubers, how's it going? This is Dice here. So this is the second one in a series of raw videos, and so we're going to do a semi-wild style today, and you can just see me there rollering up the background emulsion. As you can see, we're rollering over a dice piece. It's actually one I did a week before. We forgot to charge up the GoPro, so we decided to go back and do it all over again. So there we go. We've got the background all rolled up, ready. Selection of loop paint from Wildstyle Cafe in Stockwell. Just clearing the cap there, and off we go. Using a sketch for this one. Again, freezing cold day, wet, miserable. Typical English weather. I think the mulch described itself as lime green, but when we put it on the wall, it's more like pea soup. So if you watched the previous video, you'll remember that I painted in a really quiet park. Well, this one is a complete opposite. It's in a football court. So as soon as I'd finished mulching, that's when the local kids turned up and decided to have a game of football, and they only stopped once I'd finished painting. So I'm just putting up the E here. Made a complete mess up of this. For some reason, don't ask me why I decided to do the E 5 times as wide as it's supposed to be. Don't ask me why, but for some reason, I don't know what I was thinking, I decided to paint the E about 3 times wider than the rest of the letter. And I'm just rolling over it now. It's complete shambles. It's just way too wide. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going so fast putting up the sketch, I wasn't even thinking about it. So we've rolled it over that, and we're just fixing up the rest of the letters now. Changing the cap to a super fat cap. Whoa, look at that. I love these super fat caps, these yellow ones. Not many people I know use these, but I absolutely love them. They're nice and soft for filling in. They're not too fast. They're fast enough, they're fat enough, but they're not so fast that you get drips everywhere and it burns the tin out like an Astro. So this is all one tin as well, so that's pretty good. And that's covering really well, considering that that mulch looks like it's still wet. So this was filmed in 2022, in the winter of 22. We never really did anything with the footage. We made a little video, but didn't really do much with it. We were still getting used to the GoPro. So it's just nice to show the raw process, how it's all done, not all cut up with music and stuff like that. I think this is all one tin, so that blue's going pretty well. Looks like Mets by the look of it. Nice fade there into the beige. I wonder how many people on the train were watching. So we're just fading a can of beige, so that's a 2-can fill. Nice easy one. I must say the paint is going on really well. But that is loop. We love the loop. Now we're going to do some patterns over the fill. Not too sure what the colour on this one is. It's one of them pinky purple sort of colours, probably for Soloniki. But if you know what colour it is, leave a comment, as always. Little squiggle there with some broken rocks. Little thing I like to do, just dust them in lightly with the loop stop cap, as always. 1 cap per piece. Some chips, nice chip patterns. And I must apologise at this point because it does get a lot louder. Kids start turning up more and more, kicking the ball, and it does get quite annoying. So feel free to turn the sound down and just watch this with some music on. Of course you won't hear no description, but just filling that in there. A long squiggle. So if you know what colour that is, leave a comment. I think it's for Soloniki, but I'm not 100% sure. I tend to always use the same colours, it's just what I'm used to. I have no idea what this one is. And you may notice another dice piece in the corner there. I think I had about 6 pieces there at one stage. But this particular spot has been closed down now for about a year. More squiggles, more broken rocks. Nice fresh cap there on a new fresh tin of loot. And that's where the previous E outline was. Look how messed up that was. It's miles away from where it's supposed to be. And some more patterns now. This lovely light blue colour. Don't forget to comment if you know what colour this is. I have no idea. There's just a few more patterns with a lighter colour. So you've got the darker patterns on the dark fill at the bottom and on the light fill at the top. I chose to go with the lighter patterns. But this isn't always the case. There's no hard and fast rule. It just depends what mood I'm in. So at that point I think one of the kids was getting hold of some of the paint. That's why I try and keep it all in one spot when I'm painting. So this is pretty much in real time. There's only a couple of edits, changing batteries, stuff like that. This is all done on the GoPro, which it's only the second time we use the GoPro, but we worked out that battery does need constant changing, and the screen goes off at random so you can't see what you're filming. So the only edits are really where we were fixing the camera. And we're already on the outline. Lovely loop black. Can't go wrong with that. And if you watched the previous video, you'll know what I said before was tend to do the whole outline in the 3D or solid and then do the patterns in the blocks after. I just prefer it that way. But the standard way is kind of more like to leave a gap where the blocks would be, or to do the shading first, but I prefer to do it this way. So that's pretty quick, we're already on the outline. Just sketching it in there, here we go. So with the 3D direction on this piece, we're going, the vanishing point is below the piece in the middle. So I'll try and keep the lines following the vanishing point, all at the same angle. And a tip for that is to use the can of spray and hold it at the angle that you want the vanishing point. When you're outlining the 3D, and then just move the tin from one letter to another at the exact same angle and you'll keep the same line. Just cleaning up a bit there with the beige. Make it nice and sharp. Cutbacks, as we like to call them. I don't go mad on cutbacks, it's just if I see some drips or mistakes in places, I like to sharpen it up. But as you can see from them patterns, they're not getting any cutbacks. And there you can see the outline's not following the outline of the fill, but fill was thrown up with a fat cap, so it doesn't necessarily represent where the outline is exactly going. There are kind of rules within the graffiti scene and within painting, but I would say just try and have fun with it, you know, don't worry about too much about cleaning everything up. Is everything perfectly straight? It should be fun, you know, it's nice to leave the mistakes in sometimes, just enjoy the painting. So saying that, what I just said before, I've just found a piece of cardboard on the floor, so I'm going to clean this little edge up here because it's really annoying me and bothering me. Moving on to the E. We've got a little overhang there on the corner of the E. I'd like a nice little shadow on that, but I don't know if we did it. As I say, this was filmed 2 years ago. E is still looking super wide, but we can't change it now. There we go with the 3D, just following the same angle as I explained before. Just filling in the 3D there. So the sharp-eyed viewers out there, and feel free to leave a comment. So the sharp-eyed viewers will notice this outline is almost identical to the last one I did on the previous video, but this is one of my little tricks I like to do, and I'll let you into some tricks of the trade. The C and the E are actually my normal C and E turned upside down. Did anyone guess? Let me know if you did. Feel free to pause it when it's finished and stand upside down and have a look. So a lot of people ask me when I meet them at jams, where did my influence come from for my style? And I always say the same thing. When I started out in the 80s in London, the only reference that we had was Subway Art, the book, the Bible, the graffiti Bible, as they call it. We did have Star Wars in 84, but I don't think we owned a video back then, so I didn't tape it. So I did watch it, but I didn't remember much of the details. So really Subway Art was the first proper influence, which came out in I think it was 85, or I got my copy in 85. And I just studied everything in that quite a bit, and obviously stuff that I would see on my travels. So I'm from South London, and my local spot or Hall of Fame was in Wandsworth at the roundabout. So if you're familiar with Wandsworth in South London, give us a shout in the comments. The roundabout's still there, everything's still the same 30 plus years later, but now there's a drive-in McDonald's, and I think they've got some trees there and stuff. There's no graffiti there anymore, which is a shame, because it was a really good Hall of Fame back in the day. And we're doing some cuts now to the letters. These are my sword cuts that I like to do, chopping the letter up with a sword, and some bubbles. Don't ask me where the bubbles go or where the cuts go. Everything just goes where I feel like it at the time. There's no real set pattern, there's no rhyme or reason. And also, as you can see there, I'm just doing the 3D block for the chip, even though I've already started finishing other parts of the piece. So there's no set method, I just do what I feel like. Sometimes I outline a whole letter and the 3D first, move on to the next one. Sometimes I outline the whole piece. It just depends. Sometimes I like standing in the same spot. So we've done the piece, we've done the outline, we've done the black solid 3D, so you've still got the blocks in the 3D to come, or the shading. This is just a little pattern for the background to make it pop out from the wall. So this is like venom spit, I think somebody calls it. Bit of slime, whatever. Some more slime going up. So if you like the video, please feel free to comment, subscribe obviously, but I also like to hear your comments, what you think about the style, what you think about the graph, the paint, the application. You know, I'm interested in all this stuff. I like to talk to people in the comments, reply to everything. Painting round corners, always fun. So this is a bit of a paint save hack here as well, leaving the circular oval holes in the venom spit / slime. Just saves me a bit of paint and gives it a cool little design element as well. Apologies if I sound a bit funny on the voiceover, because I recently had COVID, which is lots of fun, as you know. Just filling that yellow in. Look at that camera angle, lovely. Big shout out to my camera guy. I think this is Malaga yellow. Yellow's always a hard colour. Always a difficult one to get a nice yellow. And at this point I'd like to give a shout out to a few of my viewers, my regular viewers. So we got shout out to Carlos Moore 614, my mate Scott who's in Hungary, Bugzoo1, regular viewer Ian Pierce, what's up? Yo to Jake's Beats, James, Jez, James, and of course Gasp, the GoPro King. Some little details there. And again, this is all using the loop stock cap, which is the best cap in the world as far as I'm concerned. Best cap that's ever been made. Feel free to correct me if you don't agree in the comments. So I think we're nearly finished. That's a transparent black, which I don't actually use often. I think I had it left over from something else. Decided to use it. Just to give the letters a bit more depth, and the piece a bit more depth. Leaving a little gap there to show that the overlapping bar on the other bar, that it's in front. So this piece isn't super clean, as you can see close up. It's a bit scrappy. But we had about 2 hours of daylight left. We did this pretty late in the afternoon. Bit of shadow there on the piece with the transparent black. So again, if you enjoyed the video, please comment. Shout out to Acme, I know you're watching. And Spook in Australia. Going in with the highlights, old school highlights. Don't always do them, sometimes I do them, sometimes I don't. Just depends how I feel. If I've even got a can of white, which sometimes I don't bother with. And some sparkle effects. Big shout to Gasp for the lens of the GoPro, which we filmed this on. And of course, all YouTubers watching, props to you guys, especially Mr. H, I know you love the videos. Let's pop in some bubbles. People hate me when I put these bubbles on when I'm doing my highlights. They're like, why are you putting so many bubbles on? I'm like, why not? So a little tip for you, If you're not sure if you've done too much or you need a bit more, take a picture, take a photo on your phone and have a look. You'll be surprised how plain it looks sometimes in the photo. So this seems like overkill with a white, but I think this is just the right amount. Well, it is for me anyway. So as you can see with the black outline there where the yellow's touching it, it's not super crisp. None of this is super crisp. You could spend 3 hours on it. You could spend 5 hours on it. But this is just a quick one. So this is a 1 hour piece from start to finish. Ten minutes of roller in first. More bubbles. Tell me if you think that's too many bubbles, yeah? Of course the dice tag comes in last. So there we go, it's done. What do you think, people? Let me know. Ours wild style, semi-wild style, readable wild style. You can see it's getting dark now. So, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe, tell your friends, share the video. Cheers, see you on the next one.